I wanted to continue our conversation about making resolutions that actually will stick and not just running with the herd of all of this barrage of resolutions. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do that. And no later than 2 weeks in, a month in, not happening. And only because there's no plans, no real plan of execution. There's no format. There's nothing incremental happening. And that's what I spoke about mostly in the last video. And I'll continue in this one. Take baby steps. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another video. Welcome to the Bajo channel. This is the home of self-care, beauty, wellness, and any and everything that'll help you to become the most empowered version of you. This is part 2 of our resolution series. New Year's resolutions are rampant right now because we are about to enter 2026, which is amazing. And I'm grateful just to be here in this world, alive, in my right mind, in my body. I'm very, very grateful. And I'm sure you are too. And choose those different goals that will ultimately make a major impact and those that you can compound into something that will actually change your life. So I will continue with my list. I'm going to give you about 4 different additional things as far as resolutions that you can make that can literally catapult you into a whole different sphere of self-care just by taking these little consistent steps. Exercising. That's a resolution that I hear all the time, every year from the time I've been born that I could remember. I'm going to work out more. I'm going to join the gym. I'm going to join a Pilates class. I'm going to join a Zumba. I'm going to join yoga. Great goals. Fantastic. But a lot of them don't stick because we want to dive in head first with no swimming gear on. When you dive into certain goals, there are preparation that you need to be able to sustain it, because that's what it's about. It's about sustainability. If you want to exercise more this year, right? Great goal. How about if you're not exercising at all, nothing? How about just taking the goal and saying, listen, one day out of the week or 2, I'm going to walk more. I'm going to walk around my block, or I'm going to walk back and forth to the store instead of ordering if it's in that type of distance. Or maybe I'm going to park further away from my entrance where I'm going in at. Just take it slow and do it consistently. If you have a block that you could walk around, maybe in the morning time, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to walk around that block twice. Or if I start a gym membership, I'm going to get into the gym 1 time every week. Get the 1 time every week. You think that that's nothing, but it's your body recognizes 1 time a week versus 0 times a week. Get in the gym. I see people make these lofty goals. They dive into the gym every single day. They going bananas in the gym every day. Within a month or within a couple of weeks, they are finished. Or they done pulled the muscle. Your muscles haven't even been worked, and you go in there and you overwork them. You can cause injury, damage, going too hard, too fast. If you say I'm going 1 time a week, yeah, you're gonna go more than 1 time a week. But if you're not going any, that's a major goal. And if you can keep that once a month for the entire month, or maybe for 2 months, and you're consistently doing it, what happens? The reward centers in our brain. When you start to see progress, or you start to see that you are moving forward and you see results from just that 1 time per week, it's going to motivate you to want to go twice a week. And when you see the results from twice a week, it's going to motivate you to want to go 3 times a week. to a point where now you're at the gym regularly. Easy, stickable goal. Easy. That's walk around the block. Park further away from the mall if you go into the mall. Instead of, if you live in a certain type of neighborhood where you could walk, certain places, walk there. Stop getting in your car driving. If that's, feasible for you. Sometimes it's not. If whatever it is, do it consistently. When it comes to that exercising. Another goal that you can do, and this is one I'm going to embrace this year as well. Every night before I go to bed, I'm going to do like a 5-minute stretch. I'm going to lay out my mat. I don't care how tired I am. I'm just going to sit on the floor and I'm going to do a stretch, a roll, a downward dog, a slow little meditation every night before I go to bed. And I'm not going to do it in my bed because I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to literally take my mat and I'm going to roll it out. And even if I don't do it every single night, I'm going to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week. That's where I'm starting at. I want to do it every day. I do. I really want to do it every day. But I'm going to be realistic because I'm not doing it at all right now. Before I go to bed, I'm going to lay my mat out, sit down. I'm saying at minimum 5 minutes. If it end up being 10 or 15, that's fine. But at minimum 5 minutes. That's a real goal that's setting me up to begin a very deep mindfulness practice of meditation and prayer and stretching and just getting my blood circulating and relaxing and powering down at the end of the day. Powering down is so important, and it prepares you, it primes your environment for a good night's rest. It does wonders for you. It does wonders for you, but do it incrementally. Just one, you could do it once a week. Get your mat, roll it on out, with your towel, whatever it is, sit down, do a few stretches. Touch your toes, sit on the floor, reach out, touch your toes, reach your hands up in the air, kind of just come in, and, and just be mindful, taking some deep breaths in and out. 5 minutes. If you can sit there for 5 minutes, keep doing that once a week, or if you want to do it once a night, do it consistently. And you will see your body will demonstrate to you the results from just doing that. That encourages you to do more by itself, not being forced, nobody breaking your arm, twisting your arm to do anything. It's going to come naturally. Another thing that you could do in terms of a resolution is to say no to one unnecessary obligation every week. Now, see, that's setting you up to start saying no to everything that's unnecessary. But we're not going to jump into that and say, oh, just start saying no to everything. But when you say yes to everything, saying no, just like that, I mean, some of us, we do have that turn off and turn on switch. But for most of us, it has to have to happen. It has to happen gradually. It has to happen gradually. Saying no to one obligation, every unnecessary obligation. I'm not saying the things that you have to do. I'm saying unnecessary. A no. As you begin to say the no to that one unnecessary obligation every week, that no will begin to roll off of your tongue and your resolve will be set. No one will be able to bend you here or there. It will be set. Saying no to one unnecessary obligation. And our next one is deep, seems simple, but it's so hard for me, I will say, is to plan one intentional rest day of the month. To plan one intentional rest day. Because here's the thing, rest should not be accidental or tragic. Most of us take our rest when we done hurt ourselves. We land ourselves a trip in the hospital. We hurt ourselves and we have to be restricted to the bed. Or we so mentally burnt out that we just don't have it anymore. We should plan intentional rest days where I'm not being bothered with anything. That's allowed. It's difficult for me because it's something that I'm always like on the go, but I do sense in myself the moments when I need to pull back. I feel like this overwhelming sense of like anxiety. And I know it's time for me to pull back. Because once I get like that, everything that I'm working on is going to be like distorted and convoluted, and it's not going to come out well because I'm not in a good place to begin with. But planning an intentional rest day for the month as a resolution is powerful. Because after that one day, and you get through that entire day and you're resting, like literally resting, like not working, when you go back to work or when you do resume your normal schedule, you will see the difference in your mind, your body, everything. I have done it. And it is like, whoa. Every time I do it, I always be like, I got to do this more often. I got to do this more often. Just a reset. That is a stickable, reasonable New Year's resolution. One day out of the month, you choose an intentional rest day. Intentional. And last but not least, this is another one that I don't do often, but I will set it up to do it. Celebrate one small win every week. We go through our weeks, we zoom into these weeks and we zoom out, but take a moment to celebrate a win. Whether it was you drinking the water that you said that you was going to drink, or you did make it to the gym those 3 times, or you finished writing a paper or some type of document that you needed to complete. Like, learn how to celebrate the win. We know how to stick the punishment to ourselves when we are inconsistent and we have not completed what we say we're going to complete. But learn how to celebrate the win. Celebrate one win every single week. You got something that's a win every single week. Celebrate it. That's a lofty New Year's resolution. Take one of these little resolutions and stick it on your wall or write it out and work at that one. I'm telling you, we're so used to having this micro managing, multitasking mindset that we got all of these stoves on all of these pots on the stove that it's hard for us to just focus on one. I, for one, am guilty of this. For me to bring my mind into focus is like the most difficult thing for me to do. But when I actually do it, it is like peace on earth for me. It's like peace on earth. It's almost like I'm conditioned or we're wired to have to pop, pop, pop. And when it's time for you to kind of settle down, and that is why meditating and being mindful is so difficult for most of us, because that single-mindedness, that one focus is like foreign to us. It's something we do not do often, but we need to. It helps you to level off your anxiety. It helps you to be more productive. We have been taught that the more you do, the more productive you are. That is a lie. That is a myth from the pit of hell. The more you do, it is not the more productive you are. I would argue to the contrary. The less you do, the more focused you are, the more productive you are. That I would argue. That's a good paper. That might be a good little dissertation to write for somebody's PhD. But the less you do, because you're more focused, you're more single-minded. You're putting your energy into the project. So that is something that you can literally do. Like, celebrate the win for the week. Every week, whether it's every Friday, every Sunday, every Saturday, every Monday, whatever it is, do a retrospective look and look back and say, wow, I did do that. Nice. So these are the resolutions that I'm saying. Like, make your resolutions, but make them small, make them incrementally, and make them consistent. Whatever you choose, the operative word is consistency. So yeah, this is the Bajo channel. This is the home of self-care, beauty, wellness, and any and everything that'll help you to become the most empowered version of you. And please remember, of all that we say and all that we do, remember that self-care is the best care. Later.